We have some big media news for you. There's been a sea change in the industry. This is from The Hill. MSNBC wins cable news weekly war for first time ever. Wow. So Fox News also came in last for the first time ever. They've been number one on that mountaintop since they launched. So, we got some big changes are happening. Let me go ahead and give you part of the article here. They say, MSNBC finished first in the key 25 to 54 demographic and in total viewers against its cable news rivals last week for the first time in its 21-year existence, according to Nielsen Research. Overall, MSNBC finished second in all of basic cable, only falling to TNT, which aired several NBA playoff games. Fox News finished third in primetime for the first time in nearly 17 years. For the week of May 15th, MSNBC's weekday primetime averaged 2.44 million total views, with Fox second at 2.405 million and CNN third with 1.649 million. For adults aged 25 to 54, MSNBC averaged 611,000 viewers. CNN finished second with 589,000 and Fox third with 497,000. In terms of individual programs, The Rachel Maddow Show at 9 p.m. continued its ratings roll, finishing as the most watched non-sports program for the week in all of basic cable. If you had told me 2 years ago MSNBC was number one in the ratings, I would have said, oh, good for them. You know, they're not truly progressive, they're not truly liberal, but, you know, it is by far and away the best of the three options, so great. You know, kudos to them. You tell me this now, and I think it's bad, and I think it's dangerous. Now, why do I say that? What's MSNBC been covering nonstop the entire time Trump's been in office? Russia, Russia, Russia. So it turns out Russia is good for the ratings. It's good for that. When they do their Red Scare bullshit and base entire segments and entire shows on assumptions and innuendo and you filling in the blanks in your own head with, you know, the deals Trump is making, they're covering garbage. They're not covering real issues. Rachel Maddow, 53% of her coverage since Trump's got elected has been on Russia. It beats all other issues combined. And now she's number one. So what they're going to do here is take away the exact wrong message. The message, we must be right because we're covering Russia, Russia, Russia. That must be correct. Well, no. Fox News, like I just told you, was number one in the ratings forever. They're the behemoth. They were also number one in the ratings by a mile and a half when they were screaming Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi. Does that mean they're right for screaming Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi? No. And look at the numbers. So they get a total of about 2.4 million people watching them. It's good. It's up there. Number one in cable news, number two in all of cable. So they're doing good, relatively speaking. There's 320 million people in the fucking country, though. So as you cater to 2.4 million people, you got most people are looking for, I don't know, discussion of real issues that affect them. Hey, I can't keep my fucking light bill on this month. Medical costs are going through the roof. Medical bills are one of the top causes of bankruptcy. Half the country makes $30,000 a year or less. 45,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. We got 7 wars going on overseas. Flint doesn't have clean water. Our infrastructure gets a grade of D. Trump just signed a bill that gives away your internet privacy rights, a bill that only 6 or 7% of the American people agreed with. There's real shit happening in the world. And MSNBC, Russia, 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 they get to number one in the ratings. And now they're just going to learn, their takeaway from that is going to be, oh, let's double down on this, triple down on this, quadruple down on this. And they'll be screaming about Russia as we're on the brink of fucking nuclear war. They'll say, you know, Donald Trump, to prove that he's not a puppet of Putin, maybe he wants to nuke him or something. Rachel Maddow argued that if Trump pulls troops from NATO's border, that means it's evidence that Putin has a pee-pee tape of him. So now the people who are supposed to be anti-war are now arguing that it's the right thing to keep NATO troops on Russia's border, which is a clear provocation and escalation. Yeah, just go to the brink of war with the nuclear power because, you know, it's a good idea. Not good, man. Look, you don't, as of right now, there is no option on TV of real coverage, real news, real discussion about serious issues. That's not on the menu. You have Fox News, which is Republican Party propaganda. You have CNN, which is a giant neutrality bias and false equivalence all day long and has an establishment bias for both parties. And you have MSNBC, which is Democratic Party propaganda. So you have Democratic propaganda, Republican propaganda, and propaganda for both. There's not an option where it's, hey, that's the place where you go to get real discussion on real issues that are important and interesting and about things that matter. That's not an option. Here's my radical contention. If that was an option, people would go. People would go. It's that simple. People would go if that was on the menu. Well, look, it's on a different menu, the menu being on the internet. That's where we are. That's what new media is. That's what independent media is. And I just want to remind you of something. First of all, our advertising budget is $0.00. We don't advertise anywhere. MSNBC, giant name recognition. CNN, giant. Fox, giant name recognition. They advertise fucking everywhere. They prop everybody up. They got billions in ad money that's just pouring in. Fucking Rachel Maddow makes like $30,000 a day. With us having zero advertising budget at all and just being one YouTube channel among millions and millions and millions of YouTube channels, MSNBC in the key demographic, 611,000, CNN, 589,000, Fox, 497,000. You know what Secular Talk gets in the key demographic on a given day? About 500,000. So we are competing in the key demographic with legacy corporate media with billions of dollars behind them, giant advertising budgets that are one of few options on TV. We're one of a zillion options online with no advertising budget, and we're keeping up with them in the key demographic. So keep everything in perspective and understand that this is the real media revolution. You're witnessing the real media revolution. The people who most of you guys watch online, that's the future. And the younger the generation, the more likely they are to get their stuff from online. So we will completely and utterly dominate them at some point. They're on borrowed time. They already had to do the disgusting trick that we've discussed a million times in order to keep up. The advertising money there was a sea change towards new media. And then what happened? Oh, look at that. There's some hack articles against YouTube because some ads got on some hateful content. So they say, defund all of news and politics because of that. Isn't that curious? Right when news and politics on YouTube and new media, independent media starts to have a real effect, they go, what? Defund them. And then, oh yeah, by the way, take that money and revert it to YouTube TV, to all the fucking same media outlets that were just losing. They were just losing. So they have to cheat in order to win. That's what's happening. And that's why this show is mostly grassroots funded. You guys make up the bulk of the revenue for the show through patreon.com/seculartalk and tiny donations, which is exactly the way to do it and the way to go, and using our Amazon link. So, it's just one of those things where you know for sure MSNBC is going to take the wrong lesson away. Their lesson is going to be double down, triple down, quadruple down on Russia, Russia, Russia. I don't care about the truth value of it. I don't care that as of this point, it's all innuendo and speculation because there's not a single policy thing that Trump has done that has benefited Russia since he's been in office. None. None. Even the strongest even the Keith Olbermans and everybody, Russia, 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 ask them, what has Russia gotten in return in this so-called deal? I'll wait. They don't have an answer. We still have sanctions on them over Crimea. The multi-trillion-dollar Exxon deal with Russia is still dead. They just said it was dead a few weeks ago. They're not granting a waiver for it. Trump bombed Assad, Syria's or Russia's ally in Syria, multiple times. What have they gotten? They've got nothing. So this all speculation. Don't care. Run with it because I don't know. Our numbers are good and we're doing okay right now. Yes, but if you had a real progressive, a real liberal network that was interesting and entertaining, gave news and information, gave facts, and gave intelligent opinion, well, then, I think it would kick everybody's ass. But that option's not on the menu. It's only on the menu online. And even given our institutional structural disadvantages, we're on our way to totally overcoming them.